As the last remnants of sunlight faded from the horizon, Dr. Rachel Kim stood at the edge of the New Eden colony, gazing out at the endless dunes of crimson sand. The rust-red landscape stretched out before her like an eternal sea, meeting the horizon at a point where the sky turned a deep shade of indigo. The air was heavy with the scent of ozone and smoke, a constant reminder of the terraforming machinery that hummed and groaned in the distance. Rachel's eyes, a deep shade of indigo to match the sky, narrowed as she surveyed the colony's perimeter. The Habdome's translucent shell glowed softly in the fading light, casting an ethereal glow over the bustling streets. It was a fragile sanctuary, a bubble of human civilization in the midst of an alien world. The comms console on her wrist beeped, and Rachel's gaze dropped to the tiny screen. A priority message from Colony Director Eric Thompson. Her heart quickened as she accessed the message, her mind racing with possibilities. The last time Thompson had contacted her personally, it was to inform her of the mysterious energy anomalies that had begun to disrupt the terraforming process. That was 6 standard weeks ago, and Rachel's team had made little progress in understanding the cause of the anomalies. She had a feeling that Thompson's message was related to the ongoing crisis. "Rachel, we need to talk." Thompson's voice was tense, his face drawn with fatigue. "I've received a Priority 1 transmission from Earth Central. It seems we have a situation on our hands." Rachel's grip on her wrist console tightened as she watched Thompson's face flicker on the screen. "What kind of situation, Eric?" Thompson hesitated, his eyes darting to the side as if he feared being overheard. "One of our scouts reported an unidentified structure in the northern hemisphere. It's generating an energy signature unlike anything we've seen before." Rachel's mind raced with the implications. "That's impossible," she breathed. "We surveyed this entire planet before setting up New Eden. There's no way we could have missed." "I know, Rachel," Thompson interrupted. "That's why I need you to assemble a team and investigate this anomaly. We need to know what we're dealing with." Rachel's thoughts were already racing ahead, her mind constructing theories and hypotheses. She nodded, a plan forming in her mind. "I'll assemble a team and get to the bottom of this, Eric. But I'll need access to all available data on the structure, including the Scouts report and any scans we have." Thompson nodded, his face set in a grim line. "You'll have everything we've got. But be careful, Rachel. Whatever this thing is, it's got Earth Central spooked. And I have a feeling we're running out of time." As Rachel assembled her team, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into the unknown. The data they had was sparse, and the Scouts report was cryptic, but one thing was clear. The structure was massive, sprawling across several kilometers of terrain like a fossilized titan. Rachel's team consisted of experts from various fields. Dr. Patel, a specialist in exopaleontology, Lieutenant Tom Milligan, a seasoned pilot with experience in reconnaissance, and Dr. Lisa Nguyen, a brilliant engineer who had designed the terraforming equipment. Together, they boarded the colony's only atmospheric shuttle, a battered but reliable workhorse dubbed the Mule. As they lifted off from New Eden's landing pad, Rachel felt a thrill of excitement mixed with a dash of trepidation. What would they find out there? And what secrets was the structure hiding? The flight took them over endless dunes of crimson sand, the landscape shifting from sandy ridges to rocky outcroppings as they approached the structure. Rachel's team fell silent, their faces pressed against the shuttle's windows as the massive shape rose like a colossus from the desert floor. It's impossible," Lisa breathed, her voice barely audible. The structure defied explanation. Towering above the sand, its surface was a labyrinth of twisting tunnels and caverns, shimmering with an otherworldly energy. Rachel's team exchanged awestruck glances, their minds reeling as they grasped the sheer scale of the discovery. "Let's get a closer look," Rachel said, her voice steady, though her heart raced with excitement. Lieutenant Bradley guided the Mule through a gentle descent, setting down near the structure's base. As they disembarked, Rachel felt the air charge with an electric tension, as if the very fabric of reality was alive and watching them. The team approached the structure cautiously, their footsteps echoing off its surface. Rachel felt a strange, almost palpable energy emanating from the walls, like the hum of 1,000 distant engines. She could sense the weight of centuries, perhaps even millennia, of history embedded in this ancient, alien edifice. Dr. Patel, ever the scientist, was already busy scanning the surface with a handheld analyzer, his eyes darting between the readings and the structure itself. "This is incredible," he murmured. "The material composition is unlike anything I've seen. It's as if it's alive." Lisa, meanwhile, was busy deploying a network of sensor drones to map the structure's labyrinthine tunnels. "I'm reading some kind of energy grid," she called out, her voice tinged with excitement. "It's definitely not natural. Someone or something built this." Rachel's gaze wandered upward, tracing the twisting spires and arches that seemed to defy gravity. The structure appeared to be breathing, its surface undulating like the gentle lapping of waves on a still pond. She felt an inexplicable sense of connection to this place, as if she was meant to be here to unravel the secrets hidden within. "This is it," she whispered, her eyes locked on the shimmering walls. "This is the key to understanding this planet, and maybe even the anomalies plaguing our terraforming efforts." Lieutenant Bradley, ever the pragmatist, cleared his throat. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Doctor. We still don't know what we're dealing with here. This thing could be a trap, or a low, thrumming hum began to build in intensity, vibrating through the air and the team's very bones. The structure was responding to their presence, its energy output surging like an awakening giant. Rachel's team exchanged uneasy glances, their hearts pounding in unison as the hum reached a deafening crescendo. The hum reached a thunderous pitch, and the air seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly power. Rachel's team stood frozen, their senses overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the energy emanating from the structure. Then, in an instant, the hum ceased, and an unearthly silence fell over the landscape. As the team exhaled a collective breath, a low, pulsing light began to emanate from the structure's core. The light coalesced into a glowing portal, its edges fluttering like the wings of a celestial butterfly. Rachel felt an irresistible pull, as if the portal was beckoning her toward some hidden truth. "Rachel, I don't think this is a good idea," Lieutenant Bradley warned, his hand on her arm. But Rachel was beyond hesitation. She stepped forward, her eyes locked on the shimmering portal. The air around her seemed to ripple and distort, as if reality itself was bending to accommodate her approach. "Wait!" Dr. Patel shouted, but Rachel was already through the portal, leaving her team to stare after her in dismay. On the other side of the portal, Rachel found herself in a realm beyond human comprehension. The skies were a deep electric blue, and the air vibrated with an energy that was both familiar and yet utterly alien. She walked through a dreamlike landscape, her footsteps echoing off crystal spires that pierced the sky like shards of glass. As she walked, the landscape shifted and flowed around her, like a tapestry woven from the very fabric of reality. Rachel felt herself being drawn toward a glowing, crystalline structure at the heart of the realm. The crystal pulsed with an otherworldly power, and Rachel knew that she was being summoned toward a revelation that would change humanity's understanding of the universe forever.